Monday Night Football. You want some underdog? Let's go. Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's Craig Bennett, aka Cash Keg, and we're back at it. We're going to do some underdog videos going forward. Got a lot of requests for these. A lot of people hit me up. Hey, when are you going to do underdog? When are you going to do underdog? So, hey, let's do some underdog. We'll start with Monday Night Football here. I don't think this is the best slate to go heavy on this at all. This game can go a lot of different ways. A lot of narrative here with Russ going back into Seattle. Should be a lot of fun. I prefer just to take, Denver -6.5, honestly, but I think we can come in here and we can look at some plays here on underdog, and we'll go through kind of each player. I really like their layout that they have. And again, we'll go through each one of those. And a big weekend, man. If you're not with DFSArmy, we had the DraftKings Millie Maker week 1 in the $5. Congratulations to Andy, man. He hit that. I'll show you his screenshot with that lineup. Absolutely crushed it. So happy for him. Life-changing money like that. Just love it. So if you want access to all of our DFSArmy stuff, again, I'll put all the links in below, and we'll talk about a little bit when we go through some of these plays. And if you don't have that underdog account, make sure you use that promo code ARMY and get 100% instant deposit match up to $100. Again, we'll go through all of that as we pull up the plays. But hey, if you new to the channel, hit that like button for me. Subscribe to the channel. It means a lot to me. Lets me know you want to keep doing these underdog videos. Let's just get right into it. Let's go. All right, as you can see, we have this layout here, which I really like for underdog, how they put all of the different projections underneath the player. It makes it really easy. But before we get into this, let me just show you here. Here he is. Here's the winning lineup. Rapid Fire X XD, Andy in our Discord hit $1 million yesterday. Absolutely happy for him. Again, went with the Mahomes Kelsey stack. Brought it. I think he had the Pittsburgh D, which was the #1 defense in our DS this week. But yeah, it's not a crazy lineup, but at the same time, he had a few low on plays, like Gibson was a little bit low on, which was awesome. And yeah, it's so happy for him to hit that million. And again, if you want access to that stuff, you guys can come right in and get access to all of that stuff. You can use that promo code NFL 2022 and get 20% off. We're celebrating his $1 million win. Again, we'll put all the link in the description below. But yeah, let's go talk a little bit about underdog now. This is what you want to hear about. Again, not the best slate for me in terms of playing any of these, a lot of these plays. I think I would stick to more of like a couple plays in this. Talking about Russ Wilson here, right? I think the best play, if we're going to choose one of his, is probably taking the higher of 2 passing touchdowns. I think he could hit over or hit higher on all of these, right? But at the same time, if they get up heavily and it's not a competitive game, maybe they take the foot off the gas a little bit and they run the ball a ton. So it's not a spot where I want to be super on higher on a lot of these, and I don't want to go lower on them either. I think it's all about the game plan. If you think they're going to smash them, maybe you just kind of leave these alone. I still think he gets a couple passing touchdowns here. Kind of want to show Seattle what's up. So that is the one I do like taking the higher on that one. Javonte Williams and Melvin Gordon. This is a thing that we kind of have to talk about because they do. They run basically even splits, right? So we kind of look at Williams last year. Rush attempts, he averaged, right around probably 10 to 11 carries. The lines, we got this at 13.5 here. It's tough because he only went higher than that in 6 out of 17 games. So it's not one I really are too excited about taking here. 16.5 rush yards. If we look at that a little bit, he only went higher than that in 6 of 17 games because they just split it so much. So I kind of want to stay away from this. I'm going to stay away from Javonte Williams. He's the better back, I think, but they still have Melvin Gordon right there. If I was going to take a shot, I'd probably take higher on Melvin Gordon here with his 37.5 rush yards. He did go higher than this in 12 of the 16 games he played last year. I think they're going to continue to do this. So I would take a shot on him on the higher over 37.5 rush yards. Kind of looking around what's going on here, with 10 rush attempts. Same kind of thing here. He went at or higher that mark in 11 of 16 games. His lines just feel a little bit better than Williams. 1.5 receptions. Don't think I would really touch that. You know, kind of looking last year, especially towards the end of the year, you know, we saw a little bit more maybe Williams than Gordon. Gordon was good in the beginning of the year. If we look at his first 8 of his first 9 games, he had 2 or more receptions. So if you feel like that's going to be the case, maybe you want to go 1.5 of Melvin Gordon here. Rushing, receiving yards, I don't think so. 9.5 reception yards, again, I don't think so as well. He did go over this 9 of 16 games. He did play last year. Jerry Jeudy and Cortland Sutton. It's one of those things where, you know, if we think Russ is going to cook and throw the ball a ton, this number has went up a lot here for Cortland Sutton. 63.5. I think it's getting to the point. I'm not sure I really love it here. Probably would leave it alone. Fantasy points, receptions. I think if I had to take a shot at this, I don't love it, but it would probably be the over 4.5 receptions, or higher than 4.5 receptions for him. So that's one thing we got to have to look at there. Jerry Jeudy, same kind of thing. I lean higher in all of these, but I think there's a lot of risk there. Like, again, if they go up heavy, I think one of these guys is going to go higher. So maybe if you want to take, one thing I like to do when I'm making picks here is I like to say, okay, well, maybe I want Wilson and Gordon because I really like these. And then maybe I think one of these wide receivers is going to hit. So I'll make 2 different cards, maybe one higher receiving yards or receptions for Jeudy. And then the other one, I'll make a second one with higher receptions or receiving yards with Sutton. And that way I've just kind of covered both angles. And when you're talking about 3 picks at 6X, I'm definitely going to get my return if they hit, of course. So that's one way to kind of do it. You know, coming down a little bit more, looks like they took Albert O off the board here, so we're not going to have that one. Looks like they took pass yards off as well. I did kind of like going higher these pass yards just because they're going to be playing from behind. Rush yards, again, I kind of was like a little higher on that one. I don't think I'm going to touch fantasy points or pass attempts here. I do think they're going to be behind here, so it's one of those things you can kind of look at. Rashad Penny, in terms of a back, I think he's going to be great in this offense, and they're going to feed him a ton. I just don't know if this is the matchup I really want to touch. I think, you know, if this was a matchup, if you think this game's going to be competitive, I think Pete Carroll's going to pound the rock here, and I would go higher on these. It's just one that I'm not really comfortable with touching right now, because if they get down 2 touchdowns early, they're going to have to sling the rock to get back into it, and I don't think they're going to just, you know, pound the rock with Penny here. Metcalf and Tyler Lockett. We can throw Noah Fant in here as well. I think they got, Eskridge and Disley. I kind of lean higher on, you know, these because they're going to have to be coming back, but I don't love it. It's definitely not one of my favorite. Same thing with Tyler Lockett. It's just, anytime you have Geno Smith on the other side of the ball, I'm just not too excited about it. But looking at, you know, receptions, receiving yards, I would lean this, but I don't. Again, it's one of those games where it's really hard for me to really get a handle on, because I think it could go a few different ways. And then the one I do kind of like is going higher on Noah Fant receiving yards. Get a quarterback like Geno that, you know, is not a top quarterback at all. I think he's going to lean maybe on some of these underneath routes to some of these tight ends, and Noah Fant coming over from Denver. I think that we could get, you know, a shot at him. Same kind of thing with receptions. I do like, if you want to go higher on receptions, receiving yards, I do kind of like these a little bit more, if you're going to look for one for that side. I don't really want anything to do with Eskridge here or Will Disley. I'm going to kind of leave those alone. So again, I kind of talked about some that I lean a little bit, some leans, but I do kind of like, these are probably my 3 favorite. Russell Wilson higher than 2 passing touchdowns. Melvin Gordon higher than 37.5 rushing yards. Noah Fant higher than 25.5 receiving yards. I think that's where I'm gonna land here. Again, if you like these videos, you want to see more of them, hit that like button for me. Subscribe to the channel. It means a lot. That means you want me to keep doing these, and we'll try to do these through the football season, and we'll pick a few more games. And I'll kind of walk through these. I really like this layout. Again, if you do not have an account, make sure you use that promo code ARMY. Link is in the description below. And if you are also, one other thing, if you are not an Underdog subscriber, and you are and you subscribe using the promo code ARMY, you are eligible. If you are for a free month of DFSArmy VIP membership, where we just hit a milli maker in week 1. It's not a better time to join than right now. So jump on board. Again, just join for that and get the free membership out of it. All the instructions for that is in the description below. And you guys have an awesome Monday, and hopefully we can print some money. So with that, see you on the flip side. Deuces.